I don't know. I always just try coming up, and honestly, what I want to ask in my videos is I want to get, show and say, hey, did you take notes of the Constitution? Did you take it seriously? I've been going around to different places, not just in Manchester. I've been asking people like, hey, and some do, and some are like, yeah, I took an oath to the Constitution. I think I should do it.
Pretty good.
And yeah, I take it seriously, but a lot won't. So, I mean, do you have any suggestions on how maybe I could approach it? Because that's all I want to ask. Because I mean, that's a pretty good question. That would make you look good, Could I ask you on camera? Sure. But what is it about those two questions though that gets people? You know what I mean? Like, why can't that just be a dialogue? Yep, and then that would be it, and we go. And
certainly it's an intelligent conversation that most adults want to have.
So, yeah, so that's why I'm curious about why it always gets shut down, or even yourself. Maybe you can answer personally why you wouldn't want to answer those questions.
What exactly is your question?
My question is why, like what you just said, that seems reasonable, like adults would have, but you still wouldn't want to answer those questions on camera, and I'm just curious why that is.
I just don't. I'll answer any question. Me personally, I just don't like being recorded, but I understand why people do.
Okay.
Certainly anybody's right to record anybody in a public place. So what's your question? Fire away.
Well, another one. Well, I already told you the two of them would be like, did you take an oath to the Constitution?
I took an oath to the Constitution when I joined the military, yes.
But not as a police officer?
No.
Really?
Correct.
Oh, I'm surprised. Even the New Hampshire Constitution? Right. Oh, I did not know that. Well, and then the second
doesn't
question...
mean you don't. Doesn't mean that you don't.
No. I was
responsibility to the Constitution.
No, absolutely. I was just surprised because I was under the assumption that all sworn law enforcement officers.
No, I mean I don't have the oth in front of me. But I'm sure there's something to the effect of uphold the Constitution of the United States, the state of New Hampshire, and the laws of the state.
And of course, I mean that's something to take seriously.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody, why wouldn't I? If I didn't take it seriously, then why would I be doing this job?
Well, I just think there's a lot of things going on right now to where people were, and it kind of seems like a lot of the big criminals are kind of walking away, and then a lot of people are getting.
I get that, and to be honest with you, sometimes we feel that way as well.
Sure.
But we can't control. We can only control to a certain degree what happens in the courts. Right. You seem like intelligent people. I mean, you make a lawful arrest on somebody, you prepare your case, it goes to court, and sometimes things happen in court that you can't control.
Well,
witnesses don't show up, victims don't show up, whatever the reason may be, and so sometimes we share your frustration as well.
So do you think that the system that we have now with criminal justice is an efficient one?
Yes, and having served with the military in other countries, to include Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, we're doing pretty well here.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we perfect? No. But I would think that our founding fathers didn't think that we would be perfect, but I think they had a lot of foresight. I think we're definitely better than other countries.
What do you think the biggest threat to the Constitution is right now? Or one of the big ones?
Depends how you look at it. I mean, I think the big topic of discussion now would probably be people's right to bear arms. I think that always will be the hottest topic at this point.
Sure.
And I think what gets people riled up on that is when you see these school shootings, people that, should people have the right to bear arms? I mean, when we have kids getting blown away in schools for no reason.
Right.
But is that the Constitution's fault? Should that hinder your right to bear arms because some kid takes a gun into a school and shoots it up? That probably shouldn't affect your right if you're a law-abiding citizen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So, just the last one, maybe to put some rumors to rest, hopefully.
Sure.
Would you ever participate in like a door-to-door gun confiscation or like a mass confiscation of, like, say, semi-automatic rifles were outlawed?
I think you're starting to infringe on some serious rights when you go down that road. I mean, what would be the reasoning?
This
is a martial law where we're going to start going from house to house and we have to confiscate people's weapons. I hope we don't get to that point. You own guns?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, we own.
Well, I mean, what would you do if
It's interesting that you say, I hope it doesn't get to that point.
Right.
You're insinuating that it's on that path.
Well, I don't know.
In a way, you know what I mean? That's just
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
No,
I'm not a gun owner.
Right.
You know, I'd never have gun. I have a gun for work. That's the extent of my gun ownership. But I understand why people own weapons and why they keep them in their homes. But what would you do if all of a sudden, the police or the government showed up at your home and said, "Hey, for no reason, we have to confiscate your weapon"?
I would be happy.
Right?
Something's wrong.
I don't think
I really don't think to your point, I don't think we're ever going to get to that.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I think that's. I really appreciate. What was your name, Sergeant?
Alan.
I'm Liberty Carrot. I really appreciate you taking
no
time to answer our questions.
Yeah, no problem.
That's awesome. And I think we should. A lot of us should be having when you're talking and you're discussing, you're not fighting. And so that's great.
Yeah.
Anytime, guys.
All right, right
All
on,
right.
Sergeant.
Take
Have a good
care.
night.
You
Okay.
too.
All right.